guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Weekly Reads, and this is the first Weekly Reads of 2021 and I'm just like super excited. So let's talk about the books that I'm reading this week. The first book that I'm reading this week, I'm done with like 40%, is actually this one. This is The Lost Homestead by Marina Wheeler, and I think this book is just above average. It's not that great. This is a memoir about Marina Wheeler's mother, who's Indian, and Marina Wheeler's father, who's this man. He was Charles Wheeler, and he is a British man. So basically, the thing is that with this particular book, it talks about how her mother used to stay in present day Pakistan, and then after the partition she and her family had to move to Delhi, and that's how the whole thing goes. And it's like a whole memoir on the memories of this particular family per se. And I won't say the account is bad. The thing that makes it very icky is that it's just too privileged. Okay, like the point is that even during British India, Papaji is her grandfather, Marina Wheeler's grandfather, thought that India should be ruled by the British, and he had a good social status at that time. And also, like, but then maybe their kids were not of the same mindset. But the point is, he was pretty much, I would say, a privileged person, even in British India. He was rich, well liked, and he even had like connections with the governor at that time. And it was a nice, it was very nice. I mean, for them as a family. But after the partition, they had to move, and that was like a sad part. And the reason I'm telling you this is because this book comes from a place of privilege, and if you're not looking for like a privileged read of the partition, then this is not the book you should read. And I think privilege is a very huge thing, because in my opinion, as I read this memoir, the impression the memoir gives me is that Deep, who is Marina Wheeler's mother, Deep Wheeler, had it much easier than a lot of other people in India. Okay, now of course this is me. I mean, I'm not going to compare the grief that the family faced and stuff like that, but this is just not written in a good manner, because what this book should acknowledge is the privilege that the family had, or the privilege that came along with the social status of Papaji, if that makes sense. So again, I mean, let me reiterate this. If you want to read this book, you can read this book, but it comes from a place of privilege that many Indians didn't have during the partition. Of course, it's sad, and I do agree that losing a childhood home is a very big issue, and it's like a major part of grief in someone's life, and I totally understand such stories, and I agree with it, and I empathize with that as well. But my problem with the book is Marina Wheeler's writing, because it just does not acknowledge privilege in any manner. So that's why I don't like this much. I may end up giving this 3 stars or something. I'm only done with 40%. I hope later on this kind of note comes in, where she acknowledges the fact that her mother's family was very privileged in order to like have that kind of upbringing, and also that kind of support with respect to moving from Pakistani Punjab to Delhi. So that's that. I don't know, it's just like a very self-centered memoir. It's not like written, you when you read between the lines, you will understand it. But I want to finish this to understand more about it. So yeah, that's that. Oh, also this book has a lot of controversial events that have happened in India that should not be taken on face value. That's another key point of it, and that's also bothering me a lot. But so far it's okay and above average read. That's all I can say. Now let's move on to the next book that I'm reading currently, and that is this one. This is Gin Petrol on the Purple Line by Deepa Annapara, and this is actually a fictional book, a book of fiction, which starts off with a missing child. And since a child is missing in the basti, there are children who are in search of him. and this is kind of like written, I would say, from the perspective of a child, and I really like that. But however, this book just gives me Slumdog Millionaire vibes, and Indians generally don't like Slumdog Millionaire because it's a very biased movie, to be honest. And yeah, that's that. So I mean, it's nice. I'm not gonna deny. Like Deepa Annapara has done a good job so far, but yeah, again, like it's kind of like an icky or a controversial topic here because this is just like Slumdog Millionaire Part 2. So yeah, that's that. And that being said, let's move on to the books. So these two books came into 2021 from 2020, unfortunately. So yeah, not unfortunately, fortunately. So yeah, that's that. And the book that I started in on Jan 1st, 2021 was that for a buddy read with Sean the Book Maniac, and it is Trying to Grow by Firdaus Kanga, which is actually a memoir. Firdaus Kanga is actually um, a differently abled person, and he needs assistance. He needs assistance and wheelchair in order to move about. And this book is basically his memoir, his story of dealing with his disability and dealing with the illness. So it's interesting so far. I'm done with like 12% of the book and I like it, so it's like good. And yeah, and the body read's going good too, so yay for that. And that being said, the audiobook that I'm reading this week is The Last Thing You Surrender by Leonard Pitts Jr. This book is basically an American book, and it talks about a white man who's injured during Pearl Harbor, and it's set in the Jim Crow era. Okay, it's set in the Jim Crow era, and it talks a lot about racism in the US at that point of time and segregation and things like that. So also this is like a very charged read per se, and it's interesting so far. I really liked it a lot. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, that's it. Those are the four books that I'm reading currently. I know that in my 2021 goals list I had said that I want to just read 3 books at a time, including the audiobook, and that's what I'm running towards currently. I have like 2 more books to pick up soon. I think one of them is for another buddy read, but I've not started it yet, and that's Annihilation of Caste by B.R. Ambedkar. But I'll pick it up only after I finish my current non-fiction book. And there's also like another book of fiction that I need to pick up, which I plan to pick up like at the end of the month. But the point is that in order to reach the 3 goal list, I have to complete the books that I've brought in to 2021 from 2020, and that's the plan. So I want to finish the 2021s first so that I can move on to the future reads. So yeah, that's that. And that's it then. That's it for this weekly reads. Thank you so much, and I will see you on my Sunday upload. Bye.